Bonjour, friends. My goodness, I don't know where the year has gone, but we are getting awfully close to the end. And as this podcast hits your streams, it is my birthday, December 23rd, and I've taken another turn around the sun. We won't go into how did those years get away, but it leaves me with a pause. And I want to give thanks to my friend Julia Coney, who gave me this idea. We were talking about New Year's resolutions not too long ago. And she told me her New Year's resolutions, a lot of them she sets at her birthday. And I thought, of course, why wouldn't you? That's our new year officially, is the day we're born. So I wanted to share mine with you, not the New Year's resolutions themselves, but the rituals I go and do to set them. And I thought, fine, it's my birthday, but we are just 1 week away from the end of 2024. And we want to set up for a wonderful 25. So hopefully this will be at the right time for you if you are going to set resolutions and intentions and projects for the year ahead. Welcome to Generate Her. I'm Jane Bertch. I spent the first half of my life working in a corporate organization, and then I decided to trade that all in to become an entrepreneur. Yes, here in your favorite city of Paris, France. And today, I hope I'm a guide on your journey to personal reinvention and transformation. So I've got 4 tips. I've got 4 things I tend to do, and I hope they'll be of use to you. So I want to keep this short and sweet. I know it's the busy holiday period. Tip number 1. Tip number 1 is my ritual is to spend time taking stock of the year that I'm leaving. I really go into a deep dive of how did the year look for me? How did I feel? Did it live up to the expectations that I hoped? Did I achieve the things that I want? This actually takes more time than I realize. But the ritual of going back and reminding yourself of what you've accomplished, whether you want to use your calendar to look at any important dates, whether you want to use your photo bank, which thank goodness for these iPhones and ways to capture all of these moments, you probably can get a good feel of how the year looked for you. So in doing that, I really start to think about how I felt. What do I want to take into the year ahead? And importantly, what do I want to leave behind? So in this week, I'll be doing a lot of thought and capturing of those 2 lists. They're really equally important to me. I may just have feelings on them. I may have intentions on them. But if I give you an example, I'd love to take joy into 2025. I'd love to take the feeling of joy and happiness. I'd love to take gratitude into 2025. And I'd love to enhance that and be more focused and purposeful and grateful for the wonderful things that have come into my life. And what were the things that I want to leave behind in 2024? There's a few big ones. I want to leave behind self-doubt, useless self-doubt. Now, I do believe there is that powerful moment where you stop to question yourself, but I don't want to do it in a way that is debilitating and unhealthy. So self-doubt goes on my list of things that I want to leave behind in 2024. I want to leave behind being overly critical. I am very critical with myself at times, and I know I can be critical of others, particularly those that I care about. So that I want to leave behind. So over this week, I'm going to start to form those 2 lists. And one of my biggest rituals of this process is on the 31st. I'll sit and reflect upon those lists. I'll add, I'll subtract. And my list of 2025, I'm going to have on a piece of paper that I'll fold up tightly and put it in my wallet. This way I can open it and reflect upon it from time to time and just remind myself of what I've said. If I want to take patience into 2025, I better have something to remind me of that, because that doesn't always happen. And the list of things I don't want. This may sound entirely woo-woo to you, but bear with me because I love to do this. On the eve of the new year, I will take that list and I will release it into the universe, i.e., I will burn it up. I'll throw it into a fireplace. I'll put it in a sink, and I'll safely light it on fire. There's something really therapeutic and meaningful to me to go through that process. So there we are. That's one of my rituals that I love to do at the end of the year. And it really just sets the year up for me properly. Number 2, I spend a lot of time visualizing and thinking about what the new year will look like. I may not always have a specific itinerary or specific activities, but I will really start to visualize how I feel, who I'm with, what am I doing, what are the actions that I want to see myself involved in the year ahead. One example I have is I'd love to continue public speaking. I really get a thrill out of that. I enjoy connecting with people. I enjoy sharing my story because I believe it's all of our stories. So I will try to visualize myself in those situations where I'm able to continue on doing something that I truly love. And guess what? My podcast is a version of that. So I will continue to visualize myself having these moments where I get to connect from you, maybe from miles and miles away. So that is number 2. Number 3, speaking of the visualizing, as we get close to the end of the year, one of my rituals is to really sit and now start to hone in on an itinerary of my ideal day. I've done this for years, but I did recently hear a wonderful podcast with Martha Beck talking about this exercise. And I thought, eureka. Okay, this is really an incredible tool. And I hope you think about it. I will, in my mind, start to craft out and express what it looks like. What time do I wake up? How do I feel? What is my first set of activities? So as an example, one of my resolutions is health. I'm not saying go to the gym, I'm saying health. And in health, that can mean a number of things. That can mean I am getting up going for a walk. I am getting up going to the gym. I am feeling good when I get out of bed. My body feels joyful and active. So this will be something that I'll start to really mentalize and visualize as I literally craft out an itinerary of a day. Perhaps I'm going to lunch and I'm having a wonderful connection with a friend. Perhaps I have a dream project and at 3 p.m. I'm having an important meeting that is a part of that dream. That means that idea I have is coming to life, and I'm now having discussions and meetings with people to bring that forward. So that's my tip number 3. A small little ritual I do that walks me hour by hour through the day. Now, of course, every day is not going to look the same, but this allows me to really pluck out what are the things that I want? What are the things that I really want in 2025? If I've only got 24 hours of the day, hopefully 8 of those is going to be spent having good, deep sleep, what am I doing with those other hours? What am I doing with those other hours to advance things that are important to me that will help me create what I consider is a successful 2025? So that's ritual number 3. Ritual number 4, and it's more of an ask. I will continue to practice asking for a miracle every day. This is something I actually journal about in the morning. I want to keep it going forward. It's been so incredibly powerful for me. And I'll tell you why. Every day I ask for a miracle, and I know that one is going to happen. Now, you might be thinking, okay, let's put it in perspective. If your miracle is winning the lottery, that's not going to happen every day. Well, no, it may not. Yet, if I've asked the universe for a miracle every day, some days I'm surprised with these brilliant things that have come out of the blue, opportunities that I hadn't ever anticipated, wonderful people that step into my life that I had no clue who they are. The miracle could be dealing with a stressful situation that I really thought was lost and I struggled with. So if I am in a headspace where I know I've asked for a miracle and I know it will be granted to me, that means at the end of every day, I take stock and I guess and I tell you what, I can find it. I can find that miracle. And it may be the smallest part of my day. It may be what you would consider totally insignificant. But for me, it's everything. This is one of the best ways that I think I can tease myself into gratitude. Because every day does have a miracle. Every day does have something really special that happened. And if I'm forced to look for it, because I know it has arrived, I just have to figure out what it was. Doesn't that change the perspective on every day we have? So friends, here we have 1 week to get ready for this new wonderful year. I know that we put so much stress on ourselves with intentions and resolutions and projects. But I hope these 4 little small rituals might slightly shift the way you look at those. And do take time to capture them through journaling. Write down and see how you feel. Because in the end, that's the goal you want to achieve. If my goal is to be a public speaker on big stages across the world, that is the cause. The effect is how I feel. So if I can focus on those feelings that I want out of 2025, perhaps they'll be delivered through public speaking. Perhaps they'll be delivered through another way I had not even considered. So there you are. 1 week to prepare. Start thinking about it. It's going to be a marvelous 2025. And again, if you ask for a miracle, it will be received. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, send it to a friend. Let them do some pondering and thinking about what 2025 is going to mean to them. And perhaps give them some tools. And maybe you have your own that will set them up for success. And I did talk about journaling. If you love journaling, be sure to visit my website, janebertch.com/journal. I've got 30 days of prompts to get you up and going. And what a wonderful time to start those prompts would be January 1st. Okay, friends, see you one more time before the end of the year. A bientôt.